What's going on, guys? James Blonde here with MMOHuts.com, and each year at PAX, we like to make sure that the little guys get some of our attention, and we've learned that more often than not, it's actually the small indie developers that can bring out the most awesome games. So of course, DizzyPW got some footage of several indie games that caught his attention at the show, and I have put them all together in this video showcase, starting with a game called Create. Like, create, without the T-E on the end, I think. As you can tell, this game is a Terraria-style game with the 2D pixel art visuals and crafting mechanics, but this one throws in a little bit more RPG elements into the mix. Rather than the progression being based purely on getting lucky item drops, or, cheating the system with advanced friends, you actually have to earn your right to dive to the deepest depths or fly to the highest skies in this game. Every action you take in this world will level a variety of skills on your character, similar to Albion Online, giving you a better chance in making the most of your crafting, adventuring, and combat. Unlike Terraria, in our opinion, Create seems to bring more detailed character looks into the 2D realm to really let you show off your hard-earned gear. Next up, we have a game that would definitely grab my attention at the show called Dungeons. This game totally plays off the golden age of arcade gaming when games like Streets of Rage, Golden Axe, and even the Simpsons arcade game ruled. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, then you're probably a millennial, and that's way too bad for you. But with this game, you can experience some of that glory along with plenty of spoofs on various IPs popular in the 80s, like Indiana Jones, and of course, as you can tell here, the Smurfs. But in this game, players will be able to connect to the online live server to experience 3-player co-op across enough levels of gameplay to rival the arcade legends of old. Spoof-style games can be really fun, and this one is definitely up there. I can see myself playing this right after watching Kung Fury. And of course, Dizzy had to stop by and get his revenge in Just Shapes and Beats, one of our favorite indie titles at PAX East this past year. Shortly after the first video we showed you guys on that, the designers behind this bullet hell beat-em-up style game went silent, unfortunately. Funding sort of ran out for them, but luckily, this last month actually, a new investor brought the project back online, and now the game is actually headed towards launch in the very near future. Yeah. And yes, Dizzy got his revenge on the boss monster. Once again, as the little blue square. I would play the heck out of this on my phone, just saying. Kind of reminds me of Tilt-A-Live.
Yeah!
Another game Dizzy ventured back to that we've seen progress quite well over time is Guns of Icarus Alliance, as it's called now. Well, the co-op mode is. We've been following this game for years, and the co-op mode is almost finished according to its developers, with near full MMORPG elements. Now the game sports a giant roster of airships, full in-game voice chat systems, and new PvE missions that let you team up with 2 other airships, so that's 12-player co-op, considering that each ship is managed by 2 engineers, a gunner, and a captain over all 3 ships. According to Dizzy playing it on the show floor, the new base defense 3-ship co-op mission was just as frantic fun as ever, and the game feels far less laggy than it used to, with simplified controls to make the game less intimidating to new players as well. Everyone has their close group of friends dreaming to be steampunk sky pirates, so Guns of Icarus is the best of the best to offer just that. And then we have Castle Story, another voxel-based building game, except this time with an interesting RTS-style setting. Here you command your growing army of Bricktons, also known as Lego men, basically, as you construct a fortress, gather a variety of materials that can end up pissing off some of the locals called Cretans, who want to eat you in the first place. Then you use your minion army and their newly built fortress to defend against the inevitable Cretan invasion. At PAX, Dizzy got to test out the Wave Survival mode, and on the beta servers, they're actually testing out their long-awaited PvP and co-op modes, where multiple commanders can get together on one map and either duke it out or work together to survive the Golem apocalypse. According to Dizzy, this game is a great gateway drug for experienced RTS players looking to join the voxel game craze, or burnt-out voxel players that want more of a direct challenge and objective in their gameplay, controlling a whole team of builders at once. The graphics are simple, but implications of the gameplay show a lot of promise. Next up, we have a game called Superweights, which is a one-on-one boxing game with an interesting top-down perspective, almost like the old Atari game, and its simplicity is only rivaled by the uniqueness of its design. Using visuals that kind of remind me of Punch-Out, something about this game just sort of jumps out from a distance, and then keeps you hooked when you pick up the controller, hence the reason Dizzy stopped to play it. Players fight multiple rounds with a strategic stamina regeneration system that rewards you for not getting knocked out, go figure. You can dash twice, throw fast jabs, or launch power punches. And best of all, you can do a cartoonish wind-up super punch, which you see here, with epic long reach that, leaves you incredibly vulnerable if you miss. So use this wisely. The fighting system in this game equates to real-time rock, paper, scissors style action, as throwing the same punch at the same time as your opponent will cause you to both clash and bounce back from each other. The dashes are incredibly responsive and break current animation styles, giving you a free pass to get out of bad situations if you're fast enough. Plus, to prevent matches from ending too quickly if you get pinned against the ropes, the break system lets you push an opponent back every once in a while to allow you to catch a breather. Say hello to an awesome modern take on a classic Atari game. Simple and fun. Now, if you're into intense dungeon crawlers, you might want to check out this next game called Super Dungeon Bros. It's pretty much Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on steroids. Here, you team up with 3 friends and do your best to survive one of the most brutal dungeon crawls ever witnessed in isometric gaming history. According to Dizzy, Super Dungeon Bros has just about everything you need to pick up a drinking problem, throw your controller into your screen, or even your buddy's face. The enemies are tough as nails, the traps are a huge pain in the ass that takes serious skill and timing to dodge, and the dynamically generated paths can either be a dream or your worst nightmare. Not to mention, some of the puzzles require you to stack on a friend's head to be thrown to an unreachable platform, which happens to be the same mechanic they can use to easily throw you off a cliff, just for the lulz. So again, if you like games that are basically Castle Crashers crossed with Gauntlet, well, here you go. And finally, we have a game called Lethal Tactics. This takes the core concept of XCOM and makes it into an online competitive game. It's semi-real-time turn-based strategy with modern military operations. That's how Dizzy explains it. In this game, players compete to capture items, secure control points, and just murder the agents of the other team by out-scouting, out-planning, and out-exploding their rivals. Dizzy mentioned that he never felt this much dread watching turns play out in a turn-based strategy game until now, as the difficulty curve for this game is pretty brutal. On one hand, this is certainly a niche title that's not for everyone, but if you think you have the chops to lead a paramilitary operation behind enemy lines, then pick it up and try to hang with the big boys. This could be the master levels of XCOM. So yeah, as you know, PAX is often home to tons of indie games, and we always like to spotlight the ones that stand out to us on the show floor. Hope you guys liked the video. Maybe this will help you find a cool indie game you're looking for, and you can find out more information about the games from the links in the description below. And until next time, guys, that's going to be it for me. I'm James Blonde. See you out there, gamers.